Sometimes I get this question. I went to a chiropractor years ago. He adjusted me a couple times. I felt better. Why do I need to come back? I feel fine. So then I ask that patient, what is health? They usually respond, feeling good. And that's the biggest lie we all know, I'm sorry. Because if you were to stub your toe against the bedpost, that's painful, right? Very painful. And so, how many of you have done that? And so what's the first thing that you do after you grab your toe? You probably say a curse word, right? So that's painful, but not necessarily a problem on your health. How about the other way? How about diabetes? Is that a serious health condition? Or high blood pressure or cancer? Does there necessarily have to be any pain associated with that? So health is not how we feel. Did you know that most people feel fine right before a heart attack? Look at blood pressure. 1/3 of Americans have high blood pressure and don't even know it, because you can't feel high blood pressure until it becomes really severe. Then you notice it, and by that time it may be too late to do something about. So let's say you go out tonight to dinner, you have some fish, and let's say by chance you get some bad fish. And then you go home because the body wants to rid it of this toxin, of this poison, and you might find yourself throwing up, having diarrhea, as a way of flushing this toxin out of the body. You're feeling terrible, you're running a fever. Now my question to you is, are you healthy or are you sick? You're in fact having a normal, healthy response, which is productive to you surviving. But let's give you a drug or somehow interfere with the body from throwing up and feeling uncomfortable, and that toxin stays inside the body. Even though you feel well, are you in fact functioning properly? The answer is actually no, by the way. I'm sorry. In other words, how you feel is not a good indication of whether you're healthy or not. Take, for example, on the other side of the coin, cancer. We know that for most cancers to be diagnosed, the person has had it for up to a decade. And we know that before they produce any significant symptoms like breast cancer, for example, it may be another decade. In other words, with a condition like breast cancer, if you wait until you have symptoms, meaning pain and discomfort, you may have in fact waited too long, and in many cases for the cancer to even be treated. Isn't the real issue today in healthcare early detection? Because we know that if we can detect these things before they reach the symptomatic stage, we have a better chance of ridding the body of it. So how does this relate to chiropractic? Well, you may not always feel a misalignment or subluxation in the spine. You could be misaligned 10, 20, 30 years or more before you finally feel the effects. And this usually is at the end stages of the subluxation complex. So let's say you fell off your bike when you were 5. You may not have had any direct spinal pain, but you probably walked away with a spinal misalignment. You didn't feel it, but it was still there. Now, if we progress 30 years down the road, give that vertebra time to adapt, change walking patterns, reform ligaments and tissues, alter your posture and gait, and you never get it fixed, then only at the end of that process will pain show up from a weakened spinal condition that started earlier in life. That's why if you get checked early and regularly, you can prevent a lot of problems for later in life. Judging your health based on how you feel is dangerous. That's why we chiropractors base your health on how your body is functioning and not how you are feeling. Now, in our office, our goal is to help as many people as possible regain their health in the most natural means possible. I mean, if you look around, there's a lot of people who do not have good health, and they don't know where to turn. You probably know someone right now, a child, a spouse, a friend, a neighbor, who has some sort of condition or ailment, headaches, migraines, knee problems, plantar fasciitis, sleeping disturbances, bowel issues. Please refer them to get help. More importantly, you could even send them this email. We're offering a free consultation to see if there's something we can do to help them with their problem. There is a due date and space may be limited, so send the email to someone now. It makes no difference to me, but it could make a huge difference in the lives of someone that you send it to. So check out the flyer below for details and then forward the whole email on to someone. So I want to thank you in advance and have a blessed and healthy day.